In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
Is you cool? I just watched a clip that just broke my brain. There's a woman on tonight's conversation complaining that her husband lacks ambition. But here's what this dude does every single day. He pays all the bills. He takes care of his kids. He shows up for his family. So when the host asks her how he does all that without ambition, she says, "No, he got money. I want more." Meanwhile, half of TikTok is women crying about broke absentee fathers who ghost them after 3 dates. So we've got one woman dumping a provider because he's not ambitious enough, and millions more begging for an unachievable alpha. The brutal truth is that we've learned to turn love into a stock portfolio where every relationship must show a quarterly gain or get liquidated. This is the dating marketplace hustle.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in.
How he do that with no ambition?
No, he got
Kendra
money.
G
I want
even there.
more.
You know what?
And he's complacent.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
Is you cool?
Unfortunately, for a lot of men, there are so many women telling them you have to be more ambitious. And it's because they want the ambition to look like what they want it to look like. But his ambition is waking up every day and going to work. Waking up every day and showing up for my children, showing up for my home. Like, that's just as ambitious. You know how ambitious you have to be when you are going through depression? Your girl is telling you you need to do more, and then you don't feel like you're good enough, but she don't know the mental and emotional and spiritual battles that you have and how you still trying to show up for your home. That's ambition, baby. Take a moment, read, I think it's 1 Timothy 5:8. Because what it talks about is a man who neglects his home is the same as a man who denies his faith. This man is taking care of his home. There is faith and grace in that. He is being provisional.
But look on her face. I don't think this message is actually sinking in. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame. She's such a pretty girl too, but I think that's why she thinks there's something better for her outside of her relationship. Obviously, she thinks she can better deal herself into some more money or more trips or whatever else they're into right now.
Provisional. He's still leading. So we have to acknowledge that, because if not, you're going to lose that. Like, that's a gem, baby.
I make my own money. I make
Okay.
more than him. Right?
And you said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
And you make more money?
Yeah.
Homeboy, if you listening, run. Get up out of there, man. This chick ain't got nothing good coming for you, man.
You mentioned that you make more money than him, and I want you to know that was not done by mistake. That was a systemic thing that was put into place so that the
Definitely.
black woman can be elevated to start looking at they men like they're not doing enough.
No.
It is very intentional, the fact that you make more money, and even though your man is showing up for you, you start looking at him for like, why can't you do more?
The fact that this man is covering the bills, even though he knows you make more, let me tell you what he's doing. This man is willing to maybe put things on pause so that you can elevate. Think about it. What you make becomes almost just yours. What you choose to do, you have the freedom to pivot and pivot and pivot. Try this, go to school, because this man is saying, I'm going to sacrifice and take care of the foundational things so that you can have a choice whether or not you want to work or not. And so when you saying that man lacked...
So you can come up there and embarrass him is really what it is right here.
ambition. I just think it's ambition in a direction you can't recognize.
So this young lady here. So this lady right here looks very familiar if you've been on the scene in a while. Now, I'm not sure if she's actually married to this man, but she's obviously living with this man, has a family with this man. She's obviously sharing a household with this man, let's just say. This, and this is rare for me. I'm actually agreeing with everybody on tonight's conversation. I know, shocker, right? But here's the crazy thing about this ambition bullshit that we're hearing about nowadays. What this woman is really saying is that you're not making me rich fast enough. She admits she makes more money than him, but he still covers all the household expenses. This man is literally subsidizing her entire lifestyle while raising kids, and she's out here shopping for an upgrade like he's a Honda Civic that needs to become a Tesla overnight. You know what's actually ambitious? Showing up every day, as they said in the video, showing up every day when your partner is telling the internet that you ain't shit. Waking up at the crack of dawn to work a job that pays for everything while your wife keeps her salary for herself in a little pile, taking care of the kids when you're probably depressed, when you're probably dreading walking into the house after your shift, when you putting in hard hours at the plant or whatever the hell he's doing. Obviously, when did everybody have to be independently wealthy for them to have a halfway decent relationship? You know, the person that's supposed to have your back publicly is questioning your worth and ambition. Let that sink in for a minute. But we don't call making an honest living ambition anymore because it doesn't generate views for content on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Real ambition now means disrupting industries or building empires or whatever other Silicon Valley garbage you've been programmed to worship. If you're not grinding towards your next house flip, you're apparently worthless. But the data backs up how rare this guy actually is. According to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, men in dual income households still do less housework than women, but this guy is handling kids and finances. He's a statistical unicorn, and his wife is treating him like he's underperforming. Now, this is something that's come up really often recently as men who are six-figure earners got the wake-up call a couple years ago from Kevin Samuels. They were actually in the top 10% of men. This was the alarming wake-up call that a lot of people needed to actually know their worth. But see, this is what happens when we apply marketplace logic to human relationships. Every partner becomes an investment that must appreciate and value or get dumped for a better deal. We're literally day trading our love lives, always looking for the next big opportunity around the corner while ignoring what's actually already working. And look, I get it. Economic anxiety is real. Housing costs are insane. The wages are stagnant and everyone's terrified they're falling behind. But when that anxiety makes you treat the person across from you, the person you sleep with, as a stock pick instead of a person, I fear we've lost the plot entirely. The woman in this clip is not an outlier. She's achieved something that most people only dream about. A partner who handles the financial stress while she gets to keep her entire paycheck. She has security, support, and someone who shows up for their kids. But instead of recognizing that as a jackpot, she's convinced herself that she deserves more. And that's where the internet comes into play. This is the grift of modern relationships that we've been sold on these phones, these iPhones. We've been sold the idea that this is what settling looks like, that being content means you're not dreaming big enough. Every self-help guru, every dating coach, the tonight's conversation that she's at, that gives you an indication about where her head is at. Why is she at this type of an event asking this type of question, embarrassing the hell out of her man? She's trying to level up. She's trying to trade up. She's trying to climb up. But what if the person that you're with is actually right where you're supposed to be? But see, the marketplace mentality guarantees perpetual dissatisfaction because there's always someone richer, more ambitious, more whatever. Dating apps literally are put here for this process. They show you endless options like you're browsing Amazon for a better deal. You swipe left on stability, swipe right on potential earnings. Meanwhile, this man is probably questioning everything about himself, especially after this video, when it gets back to him. When his family shows him this and says, you see, this is why we told you not to get with her. His wife makes more money, but he still pays the bills because he wants to provide. He takes care of their kids because he loves his family. He shows up every day despite knowing she thinks he's insufficient. And you know what he gets for that? A slap in the face. But he took that on the chin because he's exhibiting devotion. But see, devotion doesn't trend on social media. Consistency doesn't get you verified on Twitter. So showing up for your family every day for decades doesn't make you an influencer. So women like this have decided that these things don't matter. That real success looks like being a hustler or a scammer. The result is women are throwing away genuine partnerships while chasing a fantasy of what they think they deserve. They're so busy looking for upgrades. You hear them, all those get the bag coaches, all those women saying your man is not doing enough, that you need to look outside of your relationship, that you need to cheat on your man if he doesn't do these certain things. If he doesn't marry on the timeline that you want, you should leave him. That's that negativity that's seeping into their brain. You see, they're so busy looking for upgrades that they can't even see what they already have. And when those stable, devoted partners finally get tired of being walked on and being treated like they're not enough, these same people will be crying on TikTok about how there are no good men left. But the real ambition isn't building an empire or disrupting industries or conquering the world and building millions of followers. It's building something that lasts with someone who actually shows up for you at your time of need, when you're down the lowest. See, we need a reality check in this culture about what these relationships are really supposed to be and how people are completely lost on what this is. When you're sick, who is going to wipe your ass? That's a question we should ask. But we have another example of someone who still doesn't understand this fact when they were literally in that same position.
He's amazing emotionally, physically. Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times. But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown.
So what's your question?
24.
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently. How long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
She literally said this dude washed her ass. I don't know if you heard that because it was censored, but he washed her ass. And she still is wondering when is he going to do some more? This is getting out of control. This is insanity, y'all. But anyway, I could talk about this forever, but I'm going to just leave you with that. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. Make sure you sign up for the Patreon, the Faucette Media Patreon. Going to be doing a lot of good stuff over there this coming year. Sign up for Faucette Media Patreon. That's the best way you can support the channel and the mission of Faucette Media. This is Faucette Media.